Cheers, everybody. Happy Thirsty Thursday. Hope everyone is doing well wherever you're tuned in from. Very excited to present today's artist and to get going and hearing some music for today's show. We have got Duncan Nielsen, aka DonCat. How are you doing?
Hey guys, I'm good. How are you?
Good. Where are you tuned in from today?
Tuned in from my home here in the Corona Heights neighborhood of San Francisco.
Very nice. Have you been cooped up over there like over the past year or so?
I would say mostly cooped. Mostly, yeah. Pretty much like everyone else, just hanging at home. Few jaunts here and there, but yeah, just hanging in San Francisco.
Well, I'm excited to hear what you've got for us today. And then to everyone who's tuned in and watching, they can, of course, find you at the links that are going to be posted over the course of today's show. Do you use Instagram, Facebook? What social media platform do you use most to kind of keep people in the loop?
I would say head to the Instagram. That's probably the most active channel.
There it is. Magic. All right. So what are we going to kick today's show off with? What song are we going to hear?
We got a tune called "Light in You" off of a acoustic EP.
Perfect. Let's get it going.
It was a light in you. It was a choir. It used to sing so loud, now it seems so tired. You were the restless child. You were the restless child, led us into the wild. And as you lay there, well, I didn't know what to do. It was easy to feel like I'd abandoned you. But I can't forget it. I couldn't if I tried. It's too hard to let it go. It's too late to apologize. My mind won't see it any differently. As time passes by, there are only pieces of you and me. Ah, 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 ah. And as you lay there, well, I didn't have a clue. It was easy to feel like I'd abandon you. I can't forget it. I couldn't if I tried. It's too hard to let it go. It's too late to apologize. My mind won't see it any other way. As time passes by, there are only pieces of what we said. Ah, 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 ah.
Woo! Thank you. DonCat, everybody. So that was Light in You, and was that your first like big EP release? Because that was off of, was it 2017 that you did Kind of Love?
You may know better than I do. I think it was around that time. Yeah, probably 2017. And yeah, kind of Love is the name of the EP, and it was actually an EP that I recorded in this very room, just on a Tascam tape machine, quarter-inch tape machine that I acquired to kind of fool around with, and had so much fun toying around with the different sounds and stuff that it kind of became that EP.
Cool. Are you in the princess room?
In the princess room, as it's known.
Yeah.
You can't tell it by watching me sing and play here, but it's just like this little box on top of my home, and it has a view around the city that's really fantastic. So it feels like Rapunzel's quarters up here.
Oh, that's so cool. So
Was
like
Rapunzel a princess? I'm not actually. I believe so.
Yeah.
She had long hair, but I don't know if she's actually a princess.
Well, she was like the typical scenario that a princess finds themselves in, like damsel in distress. It's a very stereotypical depiction of princesses. But if we're going based off of that, then I would say yes. Okay, so like when you were, songwriting for Kind of Love and for all of your singles and album releases between then and now, how do you think that your just creative process has kind of evolved over like the past decade? And then like more specifically, how do you think you've kind of adapted, creatively speaking, during the past year?
Well, so I read this David Byrne book that I'm now forgetting the name of, but it's a fairly recent book that just talks about music like in depth and at length. And he wrote something that I feel is very true, wherein probably a lot of musicians experience this in their creative processes, but I find myself writing music for and inspired by a certain platform.
Okay.
So, for example, if I'm recording with the intent of putting out an EP for people to listen to and intimately in their rooms and by themselves, I was sort of guided to create that experience on this tape machine by myself in this room here. So over the course of, I guess, a decade, I've been mostly motivated by what am I writing a song for? Am I writing it for a stage? Am I writing it for the stage at the Fillmore? Am I writing it for the Independent? Am I writing it for a small coffee house vibe? And I think over the course of my career, I've kind of oscillated between, my approach and like, I'm going to bring this to a band and it is going to go on a giant stage, or I'm just going to intend to release this as sort of a quiet, intimate thing.
Well, I feel like that's one of the coolest things about your, unique and personal musical style is you've been able to, over the past decade or so, kind of subtly adapt and evolve your style and change it a little bit, fluctuate it based off of, what it is that you were just saying, all those components. And through doing so, you've been able to kind of capture new audiences, grab new fans along the way, with the evolution of styles, and then just maintain your OG fan base. So I think that your musical evolution in general, I think it's just amazing. Love to see
Thank
it.
you. I guess I should just add that it's easy to get bored. It's nice to change things up.
Especially this past year. I think, a lot of people, what was it, about 8 months ago, everyone started making sourdough bread. What was another pandemic fad that
Sourdough
happened?
bread was big. And just sharing like starters for sourdough bread and
Mm-hmm. Man.
it's sort of like a lot of at-home activities.
Yeah. What a crazy year. It's like gone so fast, but also so much has happened that it also felt like it dragged on and went so slow somehow.
Total time warp. Like we didn't have all the markers that we typically see in a year. So you reflect on it and there are all these like nuanced moments that you have to kind of cling to recall your year. Instead of like, oh, we did this for the 4th of July, or we did that for,
Right.
all the baseball season spans these months. Like we didn't have any of that. And it just made it really
Right.
like hard to figure out where we were.
And I feel like I've realized that one of my main markers for years is like thinking about when a movie was released into theaters and having movie theaters shut down.
Yeah.
It's like I can't think back to, oh yeah, that movie that came out 2 months ago. That's when I saw it. What was I doing at that time? I don't have that anymore.
Totally.
But we're lucky that we have all these platforms and the virtual opportunities for as an audience member, and then for artists, compare it to 100 years ago when another pandemic was taking place and They certainly didn't have any of these opportunities that we have now. So
Oh, no kidding.
lucky to have that. Can't wait for live concerts again, though, I will say.
I know. It's so funny. We played like this very, I say we, it was a different group of mine. We played this very like small, very safe, socially distant concert in the backyard with like 5 people. And people were so hungry for music that I think it just blew their minds. And ours too, like we hadn't played in front of actual people in so long. And even though it was like 5 people spread far apart in this backyard, it was like, it just made me realize how much we're craving this experience.
Right. Well, you're going to have to come perform here. Have you ever been to Napa or been to the Jam Cellars tasting room? That's where I'm at
I
right
have never been. No, I mean, I've been to Napa and I couldn't tell you where, but I also haven't been to the Jam Cellars, but I'd love to visit.
Heck yeah, yeah. We, back in the day and hopefully in the near future we'll do it again, but we would have the live tasting room concerts and we would have usually like local Bay Area musicians come and perform and we would just have a full house and it's so much fun and we can't wait to do it again. But we'll definitely have to get you in here and have you perform one of
I would
those
love
nights.
that.
Sweet. To everyone watching, thank you for tuning in today. We've got lots more music in store for you. You can find the music to download, to listen to later at the links posted below. Major music platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube. I believe you have some videos out.
There are videos out and about. Yeah.
So find that all at the links below on all those major platforms. And then, of course, if you're looking to replenish your wine supply at home, make sure you check us out at jamcellars.com/buy. You can order for direct shipping through our site. You can use our wine finder, type in your zip code and find the wines that are sold in your local area. Or you can use Drizzly, which is this dope app. It basically is like a food delivery service, but for booze. So you can get wine, beer, liquor delivered within an hour to your front door. So, and we're on there. So check it out. And we got some more music in store for everybody. How do you feel about maybe doing 2 songs back to back, Duncan?
It sounds crazy, but I'll give it a go.
Think you can do it? Yeah. Cool.
This tune's called Good Times Roll.
The people stare, turning heads as they look in your direction. Man, they hate you, but baby, they want to. They got sad lives to live out in the heat of the daytime. I live for the nighttime, I live for some nights. I die just to do it twice. Good times roll when your life's broken hearted. She can't get a party if it hasn't even started. Down, down, down. I'll take it one at a time. My head is heavy like a wrecking ball swinging, all full of vitriol out of the halfway house. The dumb luck cattle calls, red flag know-it-alls, they ruin the party. The good times roll when your life's broken hearted. She can't get a party if it hasn't even started. The good times roll when your life's broken hearted. Down, oh, 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 oh. Yeah, the good times roll when your life's broken hearted. Can't kill a party if it hasn't even started. The good times roll when your life's broken hearted. You can't get a vibe if it hasn't even started. Are you giving it up as you go along? Well, you can't get a party if it hasn't even started. The good times roll when your life's broken hearted. The good times roll when your life's broken hearted. The good times roll when your life's broken hearted.
This next tune's called LA in 83 off of the Easy Cowboy LP.
Saw you on the back of a magazine, LA in 83, asphalt and palm trees. I was worried back then 'cause I was alone, had no reason to condone behavior like yours was. Oh, I met you last with your maiden name. It sounded just the same as you say it now. Now that I see myself in you, it's gotten harder and harder to let you down. Always in motion, never at rest. Your love's a notion that I just can't forget, but my only question is, who do you dream of at night? It's my suspicion that you got the wool put over your eyes. Ooh, eyes. Oh, I'm making investments, dropping coins in invisible pools. I'm wishing on stars that I can't see, forever under the sycamores. Always in motion, never at rest. Your love's an ocean that I just can't forget, but do you ever wanna go back? Are you ashamed of your past? Do you ever wanna just turn around?
Woo! Thank you, Duncan.
Yes.
So that was, so two songs to everyone listening. That was The Good Times Roll, which was a single, but you also included it in like a 3-piece release last year, right?
Yeah, it was actually a four-part EP that came out last year. Yeah, that I recorded in Los Angeles with my friend and producer Andrew Herringer.
And I just have to say, like, with that song, I think it was just perfect timing for it to come out, like, when everything was hitting the fan and things were just I mean, there's still, everything's uncertain, everything still feels unprecedented, but to have that released, I think it was like right around the beginning of the pandemic that was put out.
Yeah, it was, and it was kind of like, I think a lot of musicians grappled with this. It's like, well, how do we release music now that you can't go see us live?
Right.
Which, to be honest, for me wasn't as big of an issue because I was kind of slowing down playing live shows anyway. But even so, it was like I would like to, accompany these with some live events. But ultimately, it was like, this just feels like the right time. Let's just put it out. People need music.
Yeah, absolutely. I think music music and wine are both great coping mechanisms to get us through the tough times and the fun times. But yeah, that song, I mean, it was just great the way that you were able to personify and really capture like the essence of a Southern California or Northern California road trip. Like just windows rolled down, sun shining on your skin, and just blasting music. Like that would be the song that I would be playing in that moment.
Awesome.
And then, so LA in 83, the song that you just played, that's from, well, geez, I guess about 5 years back, the EP Easy Cowboy.
Actually an LP, but yeah.
Oh, okay. So take me back to 2016. That was a crazy year. But how did you like decide on which song to put where within that LP? Like, how do you decide on an intro song or an outro song or everything in between?
Boy, that's a good question. And the approaches seem to change all the time. I've always been when you're approaching putting together an LP, it's a little bit like, I approach it cinematically where you want this, I don't know, that's kind of a broad metaphor, but I guess I like to ease in to the intro of an album with some sort of like overture, say, or some way to get you in that's not so jarring. And often for me, that's something instrumental or light or approachable, or just like a mood setter or a tone setter to kind of kick things off. And then from there, just piecing together a narrative within the album to create some arc. Within a song you have an arc, and then without an entire album that you're piecing together, you try to create an arc of some kind to build it and let it down. It's kind of my goal.
I guess like to dissect this even further, like when it comes to individual songs, how does that entire process happen for you? Like, do you get inspired by a melody or a tune that pops into your head and then take it from there lyrically, or does it start with a plot or lyrics and then the melody and tune instrumentals come later?
Ever since I wrote music, I guess I've always been drawn to rhythmic things. So it's just like walking around, I'll just like have a melody just like kind of come, and it'll be paired with some sort of like beat or pulse that just like kind of gives something the melody to ride on. So at the same time that I have like this like melodic nugget, say, it comes to fruition by being paired with that like rhythmic element, and that's kind of just like the basis. And then from there, I'll flesh out. It'll be a melody, then it'll turn into words, and then it'll kind of be fleshed out from there. And it's really just like walking around. It's like I'll have my iPhone and just like record voice memos.
Okay,
I
was gonna ask.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, it would be hard to like just be walking around and then have something like an idea like that pop in your head, and then the rest of the day like try and remember it. So I was gonna ask, like, do you record it or do you write it down? But okay, cool.
Yeah, a lot of people have talked about this kind of thing where it's like you want, I think even, when inspiration strikes, you want a way to capture it, basically. Tom Waits talks about that, and some other folks do too, but you don't want it to get away, because if you have a melody come to you and you're out and about and you don't have a way to record it, then you're like, well, shit, what do I do? And even the guy who wrote the NBA theme song, I think it was the NBA theme song, I think he called his own answering machine before iPhones to record it, because it came to him and he's like, what do I do? And he left it on his own answering machine.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Yeah. That like reminds me of when we all had flip phones, like not smartphones, and you would like tell everyone in the car to shut up if your favorite song came on, so you could use the voice memo to like record it and then use it as like your ringtone. I don't know why that just popped in my head, but those were the days. Much simpler time.
We found a way back in the day.
Okay, cool. Well, so Easy Cowboy. That's a great LP. And if you're watching right now and you haven't checked it out, definitely go to any of the major music platforms. I don't know. Do you have any of your releases on vinyl, or do you have merch?
Yeah, actually, the latest LP, Preservation of the Spirit, is available on LP through the website, and so is Easy Cowboy, and so is the original DonCat LP.
Okay.
Yeah, a few vinyls for sale that you can find through the website.
Perfect. How does a cowboy dog say hello?
Hold on, don't tell me.
I usually allow about 7 seconds to
I
guess.
not coming to me.
This one's so bad. Howdy, y'all.
Oh wow, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it's pretty bad.
Well,
But
cowboys
snaps, nonetheless.
cowboys don't roll joints. They tumble weed.
I'm saving these.
Cheers, everybody at home. If you need to restock your wine, I still have more jokes in store, so you can check out all the different methods of delivery, or if you want to go to a store nearest you and pick up, we've got all those options for you between our wine finder, our delivery system, and the Drizzly app. So check all those options out. They're going to be linked during today's show. And of course, check out DonCat's music. And if you're feeling tipsy on this fine Thirsty Thursday, go ahead and venture over to Venmo at Duncan Nielsen is where you're going to want to drop a buck or two or what have you into the virtual tip jar. This is our version of a concert right now, people. So let's show our appreciation. Artists are keeping us going right now, and gotta help them keep going in the meantime.
Amen.
So how about we do a song, and then we'll chat a little and get going with a little more music.
Sounds great.
Cool.
This tune is While I'm Here, as featured on Jessica Biel's The Sinner.
Won't you love me while I'm here? With my smoky eyes and the fire's light. Stay with me a little while. I got a dream that's ringing on in my head. It's telling me to stay instead. Oh, I'll let you know. I'll let you know. Oh, I'll let you know. Oh, when to follow. Leaving sooner than I thought. And I can hear the airplane's engine start. Told me not to take that ride, but I paid and fair to make it on time. Yeah, I paid the fare to make it alright. You're my woman, I'm your man. You're my heartache when I'm on island. You're the only one I'd let break my heart, break my heart, break my heart, break my heart, break my heart. Oh, break my heart. show my world. Oh my, ooh, oh my, ooh, oh my world. Oh, oh, oh.
Woo! Thank you, Duncan. This is DonCat. The music that you just heard, that song is While I'm Here. That's also off of the LP Easy Cowboy, I believe.
That's correct.
And then you actually, that song was featured, was it the series premiere of Jessica Biel's show, or?
Yeah, it was actually in the pilot episode, and I think that it comes on the radio in the car, and based on how much they paid me, I don't think you can hear it very well, but it's there.
So what is that show about? I actually haven't looked into it, but I want to watch it now.
I'm gonna make a crazy confession. I haven't watched it.
Well, okay, if anyone's watching and knows, please comment below so that Duncan and I can be filled in, because I'm curious now.
You can spoil it for us.
Yeah, that's
Not
okay.
gonna watch it.
Yeah, how does that come to be? Like having a song featured on a show or in a movie. Like, do you kind of put your feelers out and hope to hear back, or did they reach out to you? How does that work?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you get to a certain level in your music career and you're a major artist, people in the television and movie world will seek out your songs.
Right.
On, for musicians on my tier, you usually have somebody pitching songs for you, because music supervisors everywhere need to fill their television shows, etc., with songs. So that, you have somebody on the ground for you, just pitching your music.
Well, I mean, I feel like you, over the years, you have done really well for yourself. Musically speaking, like, you have kind of built yourself up in so many different ways through DonCat, and back you were a part of Geographer a couple years ago, right?
Oh, it was, yeah, probably up until 2018, 2015-ish through 2018. I did multiple tours with Geographer. Yeah.
That's so cool. Yeah, I mean, the music and entertainment industry, it's a very difficult niche to find yourself in, but with a sound as unique as yours that is ever adapting and ever changing, I think that, the future has a lot in store for you, and I'm excited to see what you release moving forward.
Thank you. Yeah. It's been a strange year of just like kind of hitting the pause button, but definitely excited to record some more tunes and put those out.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have anything like in the works that you plan on releasing?
Zero plans as of now, but a small catalog of songs building that I'll eventually decide how to record and put out. I've also been playing with two friends of mine, Andrew St. James and Cody Rhodes, in a different band called Fast Times, and we were doing a lot of events and a lot of shows before the pandemic, and hope to continue writing and playing with those guys too when we sort of emerge in some form from all this.
Heck yeah.
That's
Well,
been really
okay.
stay busy.
So hopefully we'll see some cool stuff, I'm sure, happen in the future. Now let's go back to the past, kind of the origins of your career path. You and your brother, you guys would jam out, and you had, and I quote, the crappy Squire guitar, and then he would deal with you with his drum set, or how did that happen?
Yeah.
Like, did your parents, are they musicians, or?
My parents both play guitar and sing, and I think I was inspired to play guitar by my dad, who, I took guitar lessons when I was like 7 years old, and my parents always made a point to keep me involved with music and make me take lessons. Like my brother and I had to take an instrument. So I tried guitar, I tried piano, and just didn't really have the patience for it. Didn't want to practice. And then my dad picked up the guitar again and started playing songs, instead of like learning chords in a lesson, say. You just had like your dad playing really great classic rock songs on a guitar, like Neil Young songs and stuff like that. And that made it a lot more fun. And that was like, whoa, that sounds good. And that's, a little more appealing than being in a weird room in like a weird complex with a weird man that you don't know and you're 7 years old.
Right.
So that kind of sparked the whole thing. And then I think my brother, he also took lessons, but the drum lessons for him stuck a little more, and he went on to do like drumline in high school and stuff. So because we were both musicians, it kind of just evolved into like he and I just jamming a lot of classic rock tunes and kind of exploring music for ourselves in that way. And we were we lived on 3.5 acres in Morgan Hill, just down south, kind of out in the country. So we were lucky. We had this really strange house. It was really long. So my brother and I sort of had our bedrooms at one end and kind of like a little living area there where we set up all our instruments. So we could kind of like not annoy our parents too much, even though I'm sure we annoyed the heck out of them. Like we could kind of cordon ourselves off in that area and just like play music relentlessly and loudly because we didn't have neighbors nearby.
Right. Well, okay. So with that being said, 3.5 acres, like, were you the go-to like party person if your parents were out of town, especially if you don't really have neighbors around?
Yeah, I mean, I really wasn't. We definitely had get-togethers, let's say, but yeah, it was kind of just like far away from the center of town too, so not that far.
For
but
sure.
It was a little hard to get to, or less appealing to drive to than people who lived in town, say.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that just sounds like fun in general. 3.5 acres, that's a lot. That's a lot of land.
Yeah, it was a good childhood. We had horses. We had
Who
a lot of
mowed
room
the
to roam.
lawn?
I mowed the lawn and I mucked the stalls. So,
boy.
yep.
So did you and your brother like rock, paper, scissors, and then you lost, and then you got the lawn mowing duties and the stall mucking duties?
I got the stall mucking duties because I rode horses and he didn't.
Oh, okay, gotcha. That's fair then.
Which is only kind of fair because it's like this is a big chore. Like,
yeah.
and I don't know what he did. I don't know what chores
Yeah.
he did, but
You gotta get back to me about that because we gotta get to the bottom of this. Hopefully, it was evenly distributed.
yeah, maybe it's that he used to mow the lawn and I would muck the stalls, and then when he went to college, I somehow got stuck with both. I think that's what happened.
Oh, I see. Dang. And then you would skip school a lot in high school, or like sometimes to go surfing, right?
Yeah, I don't think those formed the best habits, but my parents were pretty lenient and were only concerned that I got my work done. I think I was in the 8th grade getting an A+ in math, and my teacher wanted to flunk me because I had so many, I was absent more than I should have been.
Oh, but you had an A+? You can't just...
You can't argue with that.
Oh, boy. You gotta argue, like, it's the surfing. It's what's helping me get the A+, so I can't keep coming to school. That's the thing, teacher.
Yeah, I don't think Mrs. So-and-so wanted to hear that.
Where did you surf at?
Grew up surfing in Santa Cruz.
Okay.
So that was basically the closest place to go. Mm-hmm. It's about an hour drive from my hometown of Morgan Hill. And,
Very nice.
Yeah, my
Love
dad and I
Santa
would
Cruz.
escape mostly on the weekends, but occasionally during a school day.
That sounds like fun. I love it over there. It's a great place. People
It is,
are
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do you feel about doing another 2 songs back to back?
Feels so good about it.
Woo!
Yeah. This next one's called Working Man's Daydream.
6 a.m. and the dew is on the lawn. I pay the debt to the damage that I did when I was 10 feet tall. I'm somewhere out there on the company plane, just putting sugar in my nose to sustain. And I don't even know what day it is. 'Cause every night it's just like the one before. Just living out the working man's daydream, getting high and singing songs I wrote. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? 10 a.m. and the writing's on the wall. I pay the debt to the damage that I did when I was 10 feet tall. And every day's another fucked up dream. You try and cut yourself, but you can't bleed. Out on the stage for everyone to see. Cause every night it's just like the one before. Living out the working man's daydream, getting high and singing songs I wrote. Can you hear me now? 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 All right.
Another tune here from the latest EP. This one is Devil Is My Beauty Queen.
I fell in love wearing devil's red. Had ideas in my head, but love was for ransom. I got the papers down at City Hall, and they said amen. don't forget to sound no more. I will ring, yeah, it suits this town, loud in a dive bar, easy to lose in the middle of a crowd. We were driving blind in the back seat. Yeah, what does it mean to me? Now that the devil is my beauty queen. Now that the devil There was a line stretched around the block with a silent hand. It was guiding them. I stepped away just to catch my breath, cut my finger on the paper's edge, and lay down in a cold sweat. Crowds are lonely when you're cut in half, just a piece of the aftermath, longing to put it back together. We were driving blind in the back seat. Yeah, what does she mean to me? Now that the devil is my beauty queen. Now that the devil Now that the devil Now that the devil We were driving blind in the back seat. Yeah, what does she mean to me? Now that the devil is my beauty queen. Crowds are lonely when you're cut in half, just a piece of the aftermath. And now the devil's my beauty queen.
Woohoo! Thank you.
Yes.
This has been 2 songs back to back by DonCat's music. We got Duncan Nielsen here, everybody. Thank you if you're tuning in and checking out the music. Hope you're sipping on some good wine wherever you're at. If you need some, you can find our products on our website for direct purchase or delivery through Drizzly or our site. We also have the wine finder, so you can check us out in stores. And the 2 songs you just heard, we had Working Man's Daydream and Devil is My Beauty Queen. They're on the same EP, right?
So Working Man's Daydream is a song that I sort of wrote like, I don't know, I want to say like 2.5 years ago now. And it's sort of like evolved into what it is now, but I haven't released it yet.
Okay.
And figuring out how to record it and how to do that.
Yeah, heck yeah.
And then Devil's My Beauty Queen was off of the latest EP.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so Working Man's Daydream, I love that song. I can't wait for you to release that whenever that may be.
Thanks, yeah, me neither.
What did the hat say to the other hat? This one hat was always daydreaming, and what did the hat that didn't daydream say to the daydreamer hat?
I don't know.
You need to snap back to reality.
Hey, hey.
And why
It's a hypebeast joke right there.
why should you never give the devil a wig or a hairpiece?
Something about Devil's haircut. I don't know.
'Cause there'd be hell to pay.
It took me a second, then I was like, all right, hell to pay. Got it.
Oh boy.
Very,
Well,
very clever.
cheers. Are you sipping on some water?
I got some ice cold water here. Yeah,
Heck
sorry,
yeah.
it's not so much in the spirit of the happy hour, but still cheers. I can still cheers with
Yeah.
glass in hand. So
Yeah.
cheers
I'll
to
drink
you,
for
cheers
you.
to all that are out there. Yeah, you're drinking double right now.
Woo! We're almost to the weekend. Also, it's Don't Cry Over Spilled Milk Day. That's another liquid if you're at home. I don't know if you're lactose intolerant. You could sip on some almond milk. If not, 2% whole milk. There's a lot of milk options nowadays.
I'm a big
a
oat
lot.
milk fan. Like
Okay, I haven't
Never-
tried
never going
oat
back.
milk yet.
never going back.
Okay, because I like the almond coconut, like mixed milk.
Are those like the
But-
pods? I think I've tried those too. I don't know. There's a couple different kinds that I've seen.
Yeah, I don't know. I usually get it in the carton. I can't remember what brand it is. But I do have a carton of oat milk that I haven't opened yet in my fridge at home because I'm nervous. I don't know why.
If you're just tuning in, we're just discussing the different ways you can add creamed liquids to your coffee or just sip them with ice cubes in a glass to celebrate a happy
Oh
hour.
no, with ice cubes.
Isn't that how people drink milk? Ice cold?
What?
You never
Refrigerated.
had a-
just
you
in
never
a
had
cup.
a glass of milk with ice cubes in it as a child?
No.
Wow.
Whoa. I didn't even know that was like
what about
a thing.
like an iced mocha or like an iced?
Well, yeah, but that's like a little milk is added to the coffee and then I'm fine with the ice in it. But I mean, comment below if you're watching. What did you do growing up? Did you have ice or no ice in your milk?
We need to know. We need people to chime in about this. This is important.
Well, and what was the type of milk that you had in your household growing up? Because
It was so
everyone's
long ago. I just really don't know. Like 2%.
yeah.
I don't know.
I want to say my mom would get whole milk for my little brother though, because he was like so skinny, and so she was like, "It's alright, I'll just fatten him up with the
Gotta
whole
fatten
milk."
that boy up.
Yeah, but we didn't.
Did it
It
work?
was too thick for me. Yeah, it helped. Because he would have like 2 cups of it a day, and it's a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot. That's a lot of cows right there.
Why does a milking stool only have 3 legs on it?
I'm stumped.
That was good. Because the cow has the udder.
Of course, he has the udder. She has the udder.
That's all I have for now. But you have an encore final song for us?
Yeah, yeah, I sure do.
Woohoo!
This
What are
tune's
we gonna
called
listen
Smoke. We ready for it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers. This is the only song that I've released in 2 different forms, with a band and also on an acoustic E EP.
I'm taking in the news today. No, it's hard to see who am I to complain. Bombs in every country and we're all insane. I guess that's just history, but you don't have to remind me. Death is pulling at my seams. Sitting next to me, some notes from the TV won't let me forget the deal we made to be here every day. 'Cause we're friends until the end. You don't have to remind me. Haven't got a master plan. I'm not selfish, just too tired to give a damn. If I gave you all my love till it rains fire from above, I'll let my gravestone go lonely, and you won't have to remind me. It all, it all, it all.
Woo! Thank you so much, Duncan. It's been so much fun. And to everyone watching, thank you for tuning in.
Yeah,
check-
thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And make sure you follow DonCat on your social media platforms on Instagram. You'll be in the main loop in terms of music updates, etc. And then if you're feeling tipsy, go ahead, venture over to Venmo and pay Duncan some respect for an amazing show, whether it be $1 or $2 or what have you. I know I enjoyed the music so much, and I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to do this and provide us with some awesome tunes. And thank you so much. It was fun jamming out with you.
Yeah, thank you again. Absolutely. Thank you guys so much.
Cheers, everybody.